Between two bridges, we're talking car warranties.
Exploding consumer debt.
You can learn something.
Stop spending so much money.
Between Two Bridges, a business-to-business podcast. This episode is brought to you by Wash. Sign up at pickupwashdeliver.com. Do the wash. Skip the hassle.
All right, we're back at it. Episode 108, Between Two Bridges.
What's up, buddy?
On the couch again.
What's going on?
Going, man. Plugging. You know, I've gotten the phone calls just like everybody else that my car warranty is up. But in this case, it wasn't up. It just sucked.
It was useless.
It was useless. So for anybody, and this is a big company, and I'm not going to be bashful because I don't really care. And it didn't really affect my life to the point where it could fuck someone up bad. But Silver Rock car warranty through Carvana is a joke. So the van that I bought from Carvana, I got it as like a little like safety blanket in case like the pistons were sticking out of the motor when I got it or something. But it turns out that it wouldn't have mattered. So radiator covered by the warranty. The work to do the radiator, not covered by the warranty. Some of the fluids you have to replace to do the job covered by the warranty, but 90% of them not covered by the warranty. Not to mention the downtime of the vehicle, because they're not going to take a mechanic's word for it. They need to send an adjuster out to take a look at this radiator. So
it just so happened to happen on a
holiday week. And they said they would reimburse me for some of a rental car, which probably means I'd be out of pocket like $190 a day.
Yeah.
So I'll just pay my guy to do the job and not use the warranty, which they bank on. Mm-hmm. So they make their money. Mm-hmm. And that's why they're so aggressively calling everybody all the time. Mm-hmm. That's why they'll dig people up out of the grave and ask them, hey, did you know your car warranty's expired? You know, it is, and it's so much with everything. Like Home Depot, I've never paid the extra $8 for the appliance warranty or whatever, because I feel like that's probably a scam also.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know if you have any experience with this, but like.
No, I don't do the whole warranty thing, partly because I have a terribly bad habit of having a very short attention span when it comes to cars, and I never keep anything outside of a factory warranty.
Yeah.
So literally when I sat down with the finance guy for my truck, he said, you want to talk about the extended warranty? And I flat out told him, no, I'm fucked up. And the chances of me having this outside of the 36 month, 36,000 mile warranty is highly unlikely. So you can save your breath. I don't need it.
Right.
So no, I'm not the guy for that. Plus I don't typically go for that stuff. I don't think it's worth it.
When they were like delivering it out of a vending machine, I thought this was the only time I've ever done it. Yeah. So I got a real life lesson on it. And, you know, even if the job, and like they cover so much to a certain dollar amount. So like, you know, even if it was the motor was blown within a week, they would have said, what time did that happen? 3:00 on a Tuesday?
Oh,
man,
yeah, that's the blackout period.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. So sorry. What kind of, you put BP gas in it? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, you're outside the warranty.
Yeah, so.
That voids the warranty. Yeah, I've noticed that there's a lot of fine print, and you know, people need to understand that a lot of that kind of, those warranties and, you know, these companies, they're not stupid.
Right.
They're designed to make you feel good.
Yeah, they're in big buildings downtown.
Right. They're made to make these policies are a lot of times they're made to make you feel good.
Yeah, you figure they probably have 200-300 people that are working for them between $50,000 and $75,000 a year. Yeah. So I mean, payroll's $10 million. They can't afford to pay out a bunch of policies.
Yeah, but it also, and it's not just warranty companies. A lot of times it's insurance companies. You really need to go through your policies with a fine-tooth comb, because you'd be amazed what you're not actually covered for.
Yeah.
You know, I deal with that a lot of times with my business clients, you know, whether it's workman's comp, whether it's business disruption insurance, liability coverage, professional liability coverage.
Yeah, there's always a catch, you know?
There's always a catch, and you really, I hope you have a very good relationship with your insurance broker, and I don't care how long you've known them. I don't care how long you've had that policy. Sometimes the longer you've had that policy, the worse off you are.
Right.
Because things start to get lazy.
Right. And what's not pertinent now could be pertinent later.
Yeah.
So
Because all of a sudden you need that insurance that you've been paying for the last 10 years and spent tens of thousands of dollars for. And when it comes time for you to collect on it,
yeah,
you're not covered for that.
And I mean, they always have a loop. There's always a loop. Like I had full replacement on my van, but it was over I went over a certain mileage for the vehicle. So it kicked in another thing where they didn't have to pay the full replacement vehicle value because it was over X amount of miles.
The one that got crashed.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, yeah, we pay for all you ask us for odometer readings and stuff. Like, you know how many miles we're putting on the vehicle because you're charging us for every mile we're putting on the vehicle.
Right.
You know? So, but yeah, it's all fucked up.
And you know, we're just talking about on the consumer side of paying for the insurance, but there's a whole other side of the scam of these insurance companies when it comes time to paying out whenever you need it, on the side when they're paying. You know, I deal with it on the body shop side, but you know, they dictate what gets paid out. They control that side of the market as well. And they make it really hard to make money on that side of it too. You know, recently, you know, my wife got a rock kicked up, cracked her windshield on her car. And it's actually the second time that it's happened. The first time that it happened, we didn't know any better, didn't know any different. So we just went and had it replaced. Just, you know, need a windshield replaced, you know, took it, got it replaced. They replaced the glass, no harm, no foul, paid our deductible. Everything's all good. Next thing you know, her car starts doing all this wild shit. All the sensors, lights. At one point, I'm driving down the highway and the car spikes the brakes. I mean, I'm doing 75 miles an hour. It spikes the brakes and a light comes on in the dash saying SOS system, emergency activated. They were calling 911. I mean, her car was calling emergency responders.
Yeah, wow.
And then it said emergency responders canceled. And the car started going again. I'm like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, you're lucky someone wasn't on your ass. Fucking.
Exactly. I mean, it was doing some crazy shit. So I called Audi. I'm like, this system needs calibrated. There's something wrong. And they said, okay, no problem. We'll have you come in and set it up. Just a question for you. Have you replaced the windshield recently? Well, yeah, we have. Did they replace it with Audi glass? I don't know. Where did you take it? We told him. He said, look in the bottom right corner of the windshield. Is there an Audi logo? Well, no, there's not. Well, then you need a new windshield before you bring it here. We will not calibrate that system unless there's Audi glass. I'm like,
great.
Would have liked to know that before. So I'm thinking, okay, so I'm going to call the insurance company and I'm going to tell them that they need to replace this windshield again because that should have been done right the first time, you know. So, you know, things get busy and I procrastinated. Well, thankfully I did because another rock came up and cracked her windshield again.
Now you're a veteran.
Yeah, now I'm a veteran. So now I'm like, all right, so I need to.
You wore your smoker's jacket with your cigar. You're like, I need the Audi glass.
So now I'm thinking, okay, well, I want to do this right this time. So I called a client of mine that owns a body shop and said, hey.
Guest of the show.
Yeah, former guest
Saw
of the
him
show.
in the parade.
So I said, hey, I need this done. Can you do this for me and make sure that it's Audi glass? She said, yeah, absolutely. I can order the glass. You need to call your insurance company, though, because her exact words, she's going to be pricey. No problem. I'm going to make sure the insurance company's paying for it because Audi is requiring it to be Audi glass. So I called State Farm And State Farm said, well, if Audi's requiring it, I'm sure that we're going to have to, I called my broker, my agent. I'm sure that State Farm's going to have to pay for it. I mean, it is what it is. Okay. All right, great. So I call the body shop back and she's like, okay, we'll file the claim and tell them you want us to do the repair. As soon as we get the claim, we'll order the glass and we'll go from there. So I file the claim. I say I want it done there. And she calls me back and she's like, we have a problem. I said, what's the problem? She said, State Farm is refusing to let us do it. I said, why? She said, because State Farm is saying that they will only pay what they'll pay a glass repair shop to do that repair. And we're a body shop. And because we're a body shop, she's like, listen, I love you, but I wouldn't even be able to cover my guys' hourly rate at what they're willing to pay to replace that glass.
Yeah, because they just bang them out.
Right.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't even cover my guys to do that. I literally would lose money replacing that windshield. She's like, what I would say to do is to call, and she gave me one of the glass places. I'm not going to put them on air. She said, they've done, I know some of the work that they've done. They do good work. They'll take care of it. Just make sure everybody understands that it has to be OEM glass. Okay, fine. So I hung up with her. I called that glass repair shop. I said, here's the deal. It has to be Audi glass. Well, you're going to have to get that approved from State Farm. I said, I understand. So I called State Farm again. I had to call the actual 800 number for State Farm. And they said, well, you may have to pay the difference. I said, no. I'm not paying anything. I will pay my deductible. I said, but Audi is requiring Audi glass for my car to operate correctly. I pay insurance for my car, and I expect my car to operate the way my car operated the day I picked it up. That's what I pay for insurance for. That's what you're going to put it back to. It took 3 weeks for State Farm to approve Audi glass.
Right, and if this was like a major crack in the windshield, the car would be sitting somewhere.
Right, and it was, at this point, a pretty substantial crack.
Yeah, one crack's not bad. But
right.
I'm saying, like, if it was like a
if it was
baseball,
shattered, yeah, if it was shattered, right.
You'd be fucked.
So 3 weeks later, I finally get a call from the glass repair place. He says, good news, State Farm approved OEM glass. I said, that's great news. When can I come bring it in? He's like, well, that windshield's on national back order. I'm going to have to call you when it comes in.
So you're going to hopefully get it by Christmas.
Well, this is all done. This was several months ago. I said, okay, any idea? He said, no. 3 months later, I got a call.
Good thing you didn't need it inspected.
I got a call.
Probably failed.
3 months later, saying, good news, your windshield's here. I said, oh, good, great.
What windshield?
Wonderful.
It's so long you like forgot.
So I took it there. They did a great job. It's all good. And I'll tell you what, those sensors, everything works perfectly now. It is amazing the difference. We're putting actually OEM glass in that car.
What do you suppose the difference is?
I guess there's a difference in the clarity, and it's not enough for your naked eye, but that camera in that windshield, it's right on the other side of your rearview mirror.
Yeah.
There's a clarity difference between the factory and the aftermarket glass that affects that camera system.
What's this world coming to, man?
Threw it all off, man. And
it's crazy.
Once they got it, they calibrated it, and it's been fine ever since. And it's been a couple months now, 2-3 months, and everything's all good now. But boy, it was acting pretty wild. But that's the thing. Like, I had to fight State Farm to get them to pay for the glass that Audi requires for the systems to work correctly.
Yeah. While you're saying that, I'm thinking I do have to put a van on the road tomorrow. Shop said it'll be done tomorrow. I should just go rent a vehicle and see what they reimburse me for, just for shits and giggles.
The warranty company?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
probably
I paid for
$4.
the work. They'll be like, since you paid for the work, we can't.
Yeah.
We can't.
You're better off just getting that prorated amount back, telling them to refund your money because it's
Yeah.
just a waste of money.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of like fucked up too, because you think you're doing the right thing. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing.
you're like, oh, what, what's $3,000 over, 2 years and 40,000 miles?
And then if you're, I mean, I don't know what your situation was, but when you're sitting with that finance guy and he's like, oh, it's only going to add $12 to your monthly payment, and you're like, it's $12. It's
Yeah.
not going to change my life, but it's covered and I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, $12. I'll pay that $12. Sure.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we can add the wheel and tire package, and if you ever scuff a wheel or if you blow a tire, and we'll cover that too. Oh yeah, that's another $4. Yeah, add that on too.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they just added all that extra shit on there.
$96 a month.
Yeah, I mean,
Nothing's covered. Tire.
Nothing, yeah.
Oh, you hit a nail up.
Oh yeah, well, nails aren't covered. Was it? Wait. Was it a galvanized nail? Oh, sorry, you're fucked. You know what I mean?
Did it have threads?
yeah, you're fucked. Sorry. Yeah,
that goes into the
nail's not
screw
covered.
department, and you're fucking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you happen to be in Tennessee when you hit that nail? Oh, sorry.
Shit. Of all the 50 states. God forbid. But yeah, I mean, it just sucks because it's like we talk about a lot here where it's like buyer beware, even as a consumer, but as a business owner, like it really is. It's just.
Yeah, you have to have your guard up all the time because everybody's out to get you.
So I found like that the nice thing about getting a new windshield is like in a newer vehicle, you're like, man, I could go 3 years without getting this thing inspected now. Like, it's not there to remind you. Like,
Yeah.
It's like as long as I don't get pulled over, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, I refuse to get vehicles inspected on time or in general.
Oh, that's good. We're putting it on a podcast. We're just calling it right out.
Yeah, I mean, I refuse. I think I think that if you get a new vehicle, not like an older vehicle, I get it because it's a safety inspection, right? But like if you have a vehicle with under 50,000 miles on it, there's
nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, there's no reason.
Yeah.
Like you should almost get rewarded for buying a new vehicle by not having to get it inspected for the first 3 years. Or like emissions.
Yeah.
Like especially waive the emissions for the first 5. Because if Ford's selling brand new Explorers that need an emission test every fucking year, then Ford's doing something wrong. Call them.
Yeah.
Quit taking advantage. But I think that every company's got a way to make money off their clients and their customers. And the bigger you get, the more you got to steal, and we pay the ultimate price. I mean, house prices go up, everything goes up. I mean, you have a post out there now about a politician. You want to name him or you don't want to name him?
Mark Wheeler. I'll name him. I tagged him in the fucking post. I don't give a shit. I want to hear what he has to say. It was a ridiculous thing to say.
I'll invite him on the show.
Yeah. Let's come on.
Here's
Let's
your
talk
open
about
invite,
it. Talk
Mark
about
Wheeler.
how that ridiculous post got posted. It got 1.1 million likes because you're pandering to people that don't understand how economics works.
Well, that's the politician way, right?
Yeah, I mean, his post was that he thinks that if you're going to finance a house for 50 years or a car for 15 years, which I've never heard anybody suggest that, or a phone for 5 years, that there should be a factory warranty for that amount of time. But the bottom line is that you can't. Somebody's going to pay for that.
Right, and with phones, even if you do finance a phone, you get the insurance on the phone.
Yeah, I mean, you get Apple Care for $9.99 a month forever.
Right.
So you can pay for that. You can get a home warranty. You can pay for that. You can get a extended warranty on a car. You can pay for that. But to expect a manufacturer to cover something for that term, it's not feasible because the consumer. These manufacturers aren't just going to be like, well, I'm going to cover, like a home builder isn't going to go in and put appliances in your house that they didn't make and then guarantee it for 50 years. First of all, no refrigerator is going to last 50 years. No anything in a house is going to last 50 years.
Go back to the cars. You see it all the time, like with all these recalls. That's all cooked into the price of the car.
Right.
They're not replacing a windshield wiper sensor for free. It's all cooked into their bottom line.
It's all baked in.
So
they're not going to just take it on the chin and be like, well, this new warranty to guarantee this car is going to run perfectly for 15 years is going to cost us, another $5,000 a car. So I guess we're just going to have to take $5,000 less profit per car. That's not how it works. So General Motors is going to add $5,000 to every vehicle, and Ford is going to do it, and Honda is going to do it, and every manufacturer is going to do it. And then who pays it? The consumer.
Right.
So
and it really won't matter because even if there is a warranty, they're going to tell you it wasn't covered.
Right. So
until the politicians jump in and fuck it all up.
Every time a politician tries to do something to control pricing, and I'm not even saying that a 50-year mortgage or a 15-year loan on a car or a 5-year loan on a phone, I'm not saying those are good ideas. I'm not advocating for any of those things. So don't mistake that. The idea of those things is to make those things more affordable, whether they're correct or whether the intentions are right or whether that's a good idea or not is beside the point. The idea is to make them more affordable, but what you're going to end up doing by the government getting involved and saying, well, then the manufacturers need to guarantee them for that amount of time, all that's going to do is drive the prices back up, which is then going to make them unaffordable again.
Right.
It's ridiculous. It is a ridiculous thing to say.
Even with a 30-year mortgage, you don't expect your house to never need work in 30 fucking years.
I'm never going to put a dishwasher in my house for 30 years.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah.
To think anybody that buys a house that thinks I'm not going to have to replace the furnace in 30 years, then you should not buy a house.
Well, that was the problem I had. So we did a full remodel, right? So the kitchen's all new appliances plugged in on the same day. The furnace is brand new and the hot water heater's brand new, right? So it's all new.
Right.
So I'm on Easy Street right now.
Not for 30 years.
But I'm telling you, in like 11 years,
I'm going to be
sitting on this couch like, fucking had to replace the microwave, dishwasher, and the fucking refrigerator today.
Dude, I did that. I bought a couple years ago, my refrigerator broke, and it was the things in the back of the refrigerator were freezing and the things in the freezer were thawing out. And it was a really nice refrigerator, a high-end refrigerator when I bought the house. It was a Sub-Zero, came with the house. It was older. It was from like the 90s probably. So we had a repairman come in because I was like, man, I'd really like to save this if it's fixable.
Right.
And he came in and he's like, listen, to fix this, it's going to cost you probably more in parts and labor than
what
to
a
just
new
replace the damn thing.
Yeah.
And I understand it's nice, and it actually had a front fascia on it that matched the cabinets.
Yeah,
He's
that's
like, I
sweet.
get it. He's like, but honestly, it's probably going to cost you more money than to just buy a stainless steel refrigerator.
Right.
So we're like, all right. So bit the bullet, bought a stainless steel refrigerator. A week later, the stove breaks. I'm like, sweet.
About right. Yeah.
So I buy a stove. A week later, dishwasher's leaking all over the floor. I'm like, awesome. So within like a 3-4 week period, refrigerator, stove, dishwasher. Within 3 feet of each other, I had to buy three brand new. And then my wife's like, so everything matches now except the microwave. Can we get a new microwave? And I'm like, fuck it. Why not?
Yeah.
So I replaced every appliance in my kitchen within a month.
Yeah. It's just how it works.
Yeah. And probably 5 years from now, I'll have to do it all over again because they'll all be the exact same.
You know, I think in my mind, I'm just like prepared. Like if I have to do one, I'll just do them all again.
You might as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It's in like my dishwasher before kids never even turned on. And now it's like, I run 2 a day.
Yeah.
It's like
The dishwasher, between the dishwasher and the garbage can, I feel like it's always needs attention.
Yeah.
Garbage has to go out, the dishwasher.
yeah, if your
needs
wife
attention.
is if you have kids at home and your wife's asking for help, you don't have to look far for it.
No, garbage needs to go out and the dishwasher needs
Run the
empty
dishwasher, take the
every
trash
day.
out. So I mean, it's just the way it works. Like we bought a washer and dryer and at the same time, and I'm like, the problem with that is it always seems like the dryers last longer than the washers.
Mine has.
And like, it's just never win. You never win. So, but for some politician to be riding in his car shooting a TikTok, he's amping up his constituents, right? They're going to say, well, yeah, we fucking love this guy. He's on our side.
Yeah, he's trying to look out for us. He wants
He
this
doesn't
stuff to
get, which camera I look into, Nate? That guy doesn't give a shit about any single one of you.
He's pandering for votes.
Yeah, it's kind of like Obama's going to get me a phone.
Yeah,
you know?
he's pandering for votes. It's all nonsense. He's going to do the exact opposite of what he's saying. It's going to drive. He doesn't understand economics,
Right.
and that's just the bottom line.
Well, I mean, and people might think we vote one way or another, but that's just like in DC today. They were bragging about how the average cost of Thanksgiving meals are down because of the great job they're doing on the economy, right? The number they took was Walmart's number, because Walmart does it every year where they put together a meal for like 10, I think. Well, Walmart, because of inflation, eliminated items from it, right? And then egg prices are down 90% because there's not a bird flu going on.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
It's like the news can sway the information.
I said this to somebody the other day. Democrats and Republicans are the same wolves in different sheep's clothing.
100%.
It's not Democrat, Republican. It's the powerful elite versus the rest of us.
I have a sign that hangs in front of the cleaners, like inside, not outside.
Yeah,
not that crazy.
Yeah.
Not that crazy yet. But it says the scariest sentence in the English dictionary. I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum. None of them understand. They're all just about power and greed. And I mean, one of my biggest gripes that just happened, I'll tell you what, I think Republicans, I'm going to say it, and I think Republicans should be ashamed of themselves. They should be embarrassed because for 4 years, they went on and on and on, and I was one of them, and I stand behind what I said because of what I'm about to say. They went on and on and on about how Biden was too old and how he wasn't fit to be commander-in-chief because of his mental capacity, and I still think that. But at the same time, you can't sit here and pretend like Mitch McConnell is all A-OK.
Yeah.
Okay? And all through this government shutdown, they all said they're holding out for a clean CR bill. They wanted a clean CR bill. And you know what they did? Right before they all voted for a clean CR bill, they stuffed some bullshit in it. Right before they passed it, Mitch McConnell stuffed something in there that outlawed like 80 or 90% of CBD products and took them off the shelf because they had too high of a level of THC in it.
Yeah. It's
what did
bad.
that have to do with a clean CR bill?
I don't know, man.
It's all bullshit.
Like, yeah. It's just like
it's all about whatever they
tax
wanted
on
to
tea,
do.
man. You know,
None of them they're all scumbags.
Yeah, and that's why they say shit that's ridiculous to get elected, because it's a benefit to be elected. Like, they're all in business for themselves.
And then they all turned and all made Rand Paul look like he was evil because he held out on reopening the government. Like, how are you turning your back on Republicans and not voting to reopen the government? And he's like, because you just stuffed that bullshit in there.
Yeah.
What's this?
Dude, it's crooked. We all know it.
They're all crooked.
Yeah, they're all dude, I'm telling you, they can control everything.
It's all it is. It's all about money and control and greed. And anytime you look at any of these policies, I'm telling you, whether it's healthcare, whether it's home loans, it doesn't matter what it is. You can trace it back to money and power and greed. And they are all getting rich on your backs and funneling money to their friends. And everybody that gets all wound up because they think that their team is the one that's looking out for that. None of them have your best interest at heart.
Nobody gives a fuck.
The only one they give two shits about is themselves and their pocketbook.
Right.
All you need to worry about is what's going on in your four walls, because that's all you can control.
Right. And I think to get ahead, don't play their game. Don't fall into the trap. Just keep doing you.
Right.
And if you can keep doing that and you can keep making your kids happy and your wife happy, they don't even matter.
You can be successful despite them. You just have to ignore them.
And they almost came after, like they not almost, they do. During presidential elections, they come after your four walls. They put conversations into you and if you and your wife are having a conversation and feel certain ways about certain things, they drive a wedge between you and your relationship. And it's like, wait a second here, dude.
Here's my advice to anybody that's listening to this and you think, well, if they're all out to get me, how do I succeed in this? The way to do it is to be informed And you have to understand, we've said it in other episodes, we've talked about it on the 100th episode. These policies are written to manipulate spending. They're also written to benefit themselves. You have to understand that. You need to learn what they're trying to accomplish, and then you need to adjust to learn how to benefit from them.
Right.
So during the Biden administration, there was a huge push for energy credits, EV vehicles, EV credits, things like that. So that's what they wanted you to spend your money on. So you could go and buy electric vehicles and get a $7,500 credit. You could put a furnace in your house or a solar roof. You could get credits for that stuff. That's what they wanted you to spend their money on. Now they're pushing for U.S. production. So they're trying to give tax deductions for American auto manufacturers to move production back to the United States. So they're trying to get people to buy American-built cars. So if you're shopping for a car, see if it was built in the United States. Spend your money there. There's incentives that built into this new tax bill that you can take advantage of. The idea is to learn them and then do that.
Right, and that's on the federal level. And one of the things that got missed on the local level is during all these county elections and all this shit. No, I don't think so much the last election, but the one before is, they're going to raise taxes. They're going to do this. And you think, oh, that's not like, okay, they're going to raise, it's fine. They always raise taxes. But I just got my mortgage statement with my escrow. Like, because of everything they've done locally and on the county level, it's another $145 a month. My mortgage goes up $145 a month. Nothing you can do about it.
Nope.
What went up? County taxes, school taxes, and homeowners insurance. Why did homeowners go? I think it went up because there's a lot of policies getting paid out in these natural disasters that are created by the Democrats and the chemtrails.
or climate change.
Or the Republicans,
or depending on what channel you watch.
Yeah. But I think that does impact that. I think with the wildfires and what we saw in Texas and North Carolina, in the Carolinas.
Yeah, it does. It does. There's a lot of things like that. And I actually put out a video about, and I was talking more about car insurance, but it's all about your risk pool.
Right.
These insurance companies, they're not just taking these losses on the chin. They have to make up these premiums. They have to make up for their claims. They make them up by increasing premiums.
Well, not only that, you got to figure too that the insurance company doesn't do the homeowners based on the county assessment, right?
No.
They're basing it on what you're saying it's worth. And I've always thought, I don't know how loud I want to say this.
Replacement value.
Yeah, and I don't know how loud I want to say this, but I always thought the fairest thing for the county to do would be to do a reassessment. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, a lot of people get steamrolled, but there's a lot of people that are living in houses, and it's not, I mean, we wouldn't get that much of a sticker shock compared to like these families that bought houses in the 90s for $36,000 that are assessed at $36,000 and they're worth 1.5.
Yeah.
Like there should be some, I mean, I'm not planning on running for any kind of political.
Yeah, the way Allegheny County does property taxes is strange.
Yeah.
Where they don't do, I guess they were doing every 10 years, I guess at one point.
Yeah.
They haven't done a reassessment in a long time, but they reassess when there's a transaction, but it's up to the school district. Some don't always do it. So if you bought your house recently, it went through the roof, but then there were lawsuits. So now it's down to like 52% of what you bought it for.
Right.
But then somebody like me that bought in 2016, I'm at like 80%.
Yeah.
So what about me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck me then. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Well,
Like,
yeah.
you know
Your
what I mean?
neighbor's like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, but the guy next to me that just bought in 2025, he's
Yeah.
paying 52% of what he paid.
Yeah. And the biggest one to me is like vacant land. There's a ton of vacant land in Allegheny County that if you go on their page, there's a county assessment for like 230 acres in Fox Chapel School District is $1.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, make that like they're never gonna move off that land. They're gonna either they'll put it into like a charitable trust and they'll never pay taxes on it. But it's like you got this problem with like houses in good school districts that you can't build because this land's so locked up.
The problem is that there's a lot of people that are against the countywide reassessment because it's going to unfairly affect seniors because
they got to look out for their constituents.
Because the majority of people that are going to be affected by a countywide reassessment that haven't moved are people that have lived in their homes for 10, 15, 20 years.
Cook something in like the Homestead Act. I mean, that's what they did before.
Yeah.
You know, if you're just a habitual like mover and upgrading, then you're obviously on the move. Because
I think maybe if there's a max that it's allowed to go up in a certain year, but like, I mean, there's people in our neighborhoods that have lived in their houses for 40 years that their house hasn't been reassessed since the last assessment, and it's massively underassessed.
Right. But in the same regard, I can understand where they're coming from because in the 40 years of paying county taxes, they've given these scumbags $1 million.
Well, yeah, a ton, and they probably don't even have kids in the school district at this point, but they're still paying a shit ton of money to the school district every year.
Right.
You know,
school district is winning straight across the board.
Right.
They're ones collecting the most. Yeah, I mean, it's just broken.
It's a really broken system. And then you have states like Florida that's trying to get rid of the property tax system altogether.
Yeah, and you know, the problem is like even if you run on the aspect of like I'm going to fix this system, I feel like when you get around your colleagues in that situation, they're going to be like, listen, you need to shut the fuck up. Mm-hmm. Like, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
Although that
every time I've ever brought this up, people are like, yeah, you need to shut the fuck up. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I'll just pay my fucking 80%.
This episode's going to drop and I'm going to have people message me like, you guys need to shut the fuck up about property taxes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because it benefits a lot of people. I get it.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like I'm paying my fair share a year. Like I'm paying fucking, you know, $25,000 a year in fucking property taxes.
Yeah.
Stupid.
A lot.
And like, for them to not pay for the roads and like, kind of just look the other way when shit's fucked up, like fuck them. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, these towns, it takes a lot to run them. I get it, but
and then people get all wound up about national elections, but then
they totally glance over these ones. Yeah. They don't even show up.
Right.
Like literally the voter turnout was like 30%.
Right.
But like when it's an election for a president, it's like 70%.
Right.
And then they blame everything on the president. Like, okay, Trump didn't raise, Biden didn't raise county taxes. It's not in there. They don't even know where Allegheny County is.
Yeah.
They might, because the airport's here and they might have had to stop.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they could give a fuck less.
Right.
And we live in one of the most taxed counties in the country.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you for listening. And now a brief word from our sponsor. You've got a full plate. Kids, meetings, workouts, side hustles. There's better things to do than laundry. Introducing Wash, laundry reimagined for the modern world. Schedule your pickup in seconds via the convenient web app. Wash picks up your clothes, cleans with care, and brings them back fresh and ready to wear. But it's more than garments. From bedding and table linens to shoes, hats, purses, and more. Wash handles all your life's fabric, leaving you more time to do you. Visit pickupwashdeliver.com and see how convenient it can be to do the wash. And now, back to the show.
But I'm hearing mixed reviews on the new airport.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm hearing that it's not faster, just as slow.
Well, I mean, it's also brand new.
Yeah.
We're still getting used to it.
We're just getting out of a
People are
government shutdown, you know?
Yeah, people just bitch.
Yeah.
People just need to chill out. I heard somebody got somebody berated an airport employee. Like, people, just relax.
They're all pissed because the stats are wrong on the Franco backdrop statue. Like, the score's wrong, the time's wrong.
Really?
Like, well, that stuff that could have been researched, you can be pissed off about that.
Yeah,
but
that maybe that was somebody dropped the ball there.
Yeah. So how'd your turkey turn out?
Perfect.
Yeah. We did steaks, so they were perfect.
That's good.
We talked about that last year, and I think our destiny got all over me because I didn't cook turkey. We got the holidays coming up, so everybody will be spending money.
Spending money.
Them credit cards.
Racking up them credit cards. We did talk a little bit about credit cards and mortgages last week. We do this what?
We talked.
Once a week?
Yeah, it was like we talked. Yeah, once an hour every hour for the last 108 hours. Yeah, we were talking about the 50-year mortgage a lot, and we talked about the 21 years on a credit card.
And
rates.
So I did a little research.
Yeah,
because I wanted to back up what I was saying.
You can pull your numbers out.
I'm going to pull it out because it was a lot of numbers, and I want to be accurate because accuracy is important.
Except for in horseshoes and hand grenades, right?
Yeah, we're not doing any of that here. So I knew that debt was up.
Right.
Because I talk to people. I deal with a lot of people's finances. So I know that people are hurting. Wages are down. Cost of everything is fucking up. So people are spending and they're putting it on credit cards. And so some of these numbers might be a little bit surprising. Not really surprising, but I think people are going to be a little bit like, whoa, more than they thought. So household debt for Q3 of 25, which is what September 30th is when it ended, $18.59 trillion in the United States. So household debt includes mortgage, car loans, credit cards, student loans, total household debt. It's about $105,000 per household.
Is that including real estate?
Includes real estate.
That's not too bad then.
Year over year increase is $642 billion. Quarterly increase is $197 billion. Credit card debt is up 5.8% year over year. Average unpaid balance per card holder, $7,321. National revolving credit is $1.31 trillion, and delinquencies are rising. Auto loan debt in 2025 is $1.68 trillion, which is up 2.1% year over year.
What was the total credit card debt?
$1.31 trillion.
So what's our total national deficit? 42 trillion?
National deficit?
Yeah. I think it
is it
lasts
up over 40?
42, 43 trillion. So the whole country, its credit card debt is less than. I find that funny, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So auto loan debt's $1.68 trillion. It's up 2.1% year over year. One thing that I thought was wild, those buy now, pay laters, Affirm, all that kind of shit.
You see them on like Amazon all the time, stuff like that.
It's up 21% since 2024.
I wonder what Kmart layaway was at its highest, because that's all that is.
Yeah, but you're getting it now. It's not picking it up later once it's paid off.
Oh, yeah. So now they can't. Yeah. You just have to pay it off.
It's credit.
I gotcha.
So more people are doing the buy now, pay later thing. So one thing, and we talked about this last week with car prices being through the roof, is auto loan debt higher because of car prices or because of people borrowing more? And it turns out it is actually, people are actually just borrowing more. So car prices are up. The average new car price is up just over $50,000. It was $49,673 in 24. It's just over $50,000 now.
That's not that shocking because I always think about this. Like, remember when we were growing up, we had clunkers, dude. We drove some shit cars growing up.
Yeah.
You don't see many shit cars on the road.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see too many rust buckets. I mean, I drive one. My 14 Ford's a rust bucket.
Yeah.
But you don't see too many of them.
No. Used car prices are up. So everything's up, but the auto loan debt is rising faster
than ever before
than the car loan or the car prices. which is telling me that people are taking out longer terms, smaller down payments, and interest rates are higher.
And do you think that also has I just think back to I always go back to growing up, we were all one car families, and that's a thing of the past.
Yeah, I think one car families are definitely a thing of the past, but also when we were growing up, mom didn't always work.
Right.
So you could get away with that. But now both parents are working, so you need 2 cars. So I think 2 car families are pretty standard now.
I mean, it's not uncommon to go to someone's house, they have 4 or 5 cars.
Yeah, and when I was growing up, both of my parents worked for the majority of the time. So we were always a 2-car household. But the way my parents always did it is 1 car was always paid off.
Yeah.
So one of them always had the old car that was paid off, and the other car was the new car that had a loan on it.
Yeah, and I think with when I grew up, my family, my dad refused to buy a new car. He paid cash for every car because you could buy a $3,000-$4,000 car back then.
Yeah, but you can't.
You can't now.
Can't do that now.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's really hard to find a decent $3,000-$4,000 car nowadays.
Yeah, I've always credited that to the internet ruining that. Because Kelly Blue Book, people you bought your first car, it was mint, right?
Mint. Yeah, it was.
It wasn't the nicest brand or car, but it was clean and mint. And now if that lady would go to Kelly Blue Book and punch it in, it would be worth $69.95. Oh, I can get $7,000 for this car. I love you, Jerry, but I can't sell it to you for $500.
Right.
So that kind of ruined that.
Yeah.
The barn finds aren't there anymore. You used to be able to find some mint shit out there in the world, but I think the internet's kind of put that to a stop.
Yeah. Yeah. So it kind of, this research kind of justified what we were talking about last week, where people are definitely hurting, and grocery costs are up. Overall cost of living is up. To exacerbate that, though, people are spending recklessly. It's become so easy to spend money where, I get, notifications on my phone, my watch, from Uber Eats, oh, you want a deal? You can order food to get delivered. Groceries on your phone, where it's become now, it used to be you'd go grocery shopping and the impulse buying was at the cash register.
Right.
Well, now you're impulse buying on your phone.
Right.
Subscriptions, where you have subscriptions to stuff that you don't even remember subscribing for, but every month they're just chipping away at your budget. So it's so difficult in today's day and age to have a checkbook ledger where you have a line item for everything you spend money on, because everything is so automatic. You know what I mean? So
100%.
You can't be okay, Netflix $12.99, YouTube TV $82.99, because everything is just so fast paced.
When someone sat down and balanced the checkbook like our parents used to.
Right. It would be so hard to do so, because everything's coming out every day. You have an auto deduct. You'd spend every day. Where it used to be once a week, you'd sit down at the dining room table and you would write out your bills, and you'd keep a ledger, and that's how much money you had. Well, now you'd have to be there every single day being okay, well, these 4 things got auto deducted out of my account, and then I ordered Uber Eats, and now I got to deduct that. It's so easy to spend money that there's just money flying out.
Right.
And everything becomes an impulse buy. So people are not tracking their money. And so they're always living that paycheck to paycheck and just not tracking anything. So they're always broke. So then they're just using a credit card. And now all of a sudden they've got, it's just little things I want this. Oh, it's only $100. Put it on a credit card.
Sarah just said it today. The dog went to the vet, right? It was $200. She was going to pay with her Capital One card. And she was like, no, because if I pay on the Capital One, it's going to cost me $300 by the time I pay it off. Mm-hmm. Just use the debit card, So it's almost like you need to come up with a plan that works for your family and like eliminate the credit cards from your wallet. Just, have them in case you need them. Like if you're going to plan a trip and you want to book a trip, that's fine. But like if you're going to go to Sheetz and buy a lunch and maybe some Zins and a hoagie, try to eliminate that.
It's almost like that credit card creates this second personality in your mind where if you only had that debit card or the cash in your pocket, like, okay, I got $300 in my pocket. I got $300 to spend. But you've got that Amex in your pocket that has got a $5,000 limit or a $10,000 limit. So you can, I'll just pay for it at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the month, you're like, holy shit, what did I do?
Yeah.
You go home every day and there's Amazon packages and half the shit you don't even remember buying. And you're like, what did I buy?
Yeah, that's why I don't like the fact that they extend the available balances as much as they do, because they're in on it too. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, this guy can afford a $10,000 credit max, but like, you don't have to give it to him. You know what I mean? Like you're actually like, that'd be like the casinos being allowed to give out credit cards to go gamble with, because now you're extending credit to someone.
They do.
Do they?
Oh yeah.
There's
a whole credit room.
Yeah, but I thought that was just for like high rollers.
Who do you think's? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but I didn't think like
that's
Miss Betty could go down there and be like, this is what I make on Social Security.
Well, yeah, they don't, but the Miss Betty's not the one that's making that place so nice.
Yeah, they're getting there. They probably will at some point, but like, you just got to be careful. I mean, it's just because like, just like your politicians aren't looking out for you, American Express ain't looking out for you. They want you to default.
Listen, they have a business model.
Yeah.
They don't want you to default. They want their money. They just want you to pay that shit forever.
Right. They want you to miss a couple payments and get out of that 0%.
Paying 29.99% or 19.99, 26.99, whatever your rate is, they want you paying that shit for the next 21 years.
Right. And they want you to maybe default once so they can jump the rate.
Yeah. Lose that grace period, and then they can charge you interest from day one.
Yeah. So buyer beware. Holiday shopping's coming. Don't max out credit cards.
Just take it easy.
Yeah.
Track your spending and go through your checking account and your credit cards and go through those subscriptions. Because man, like I've done that, and you'd be shocked.
Yeah. And don't max out a credit card trying to make your kid happy. Your kid will be happy with whatever you give them.
Yeah.
Don't keep up with the Joneses.
I've said this to my wife before, because like sometimes, especially on like holiday breaks, you're like, what are we going to do with the kids today? We got to do something with the kids. Not every day has to be the best day of their life.
That's a good point.
Sometimes they can just sit at home and relax.
Yeah, and I think that Christmas is kind of watered down because our kids get so much throughout the year. Like our kids don't go without. Like they're not. Yeah. My kid's not waiting till Christmas for anything.
Right.
It's all in addition to what they have. Like they have their iPads, they have their, they have so much more than we had as kids.
And I'm not talking, when I say not best day of their life, I'm not talking about Christmas Day, opening up gifts. I'm saying like during holiday breaks, like they don't need to go to this place and.
Right. You don't have to go to Dave Buster's.
Not every day has to be packed with activities and spending. Just relax.
It's funny because we've been looking, like, my wife was looking at things like to do, like, because what do you get kids that have almost everything? They're almost like 80-year-old men, Yeah. So we're like, you can get a science center, like, season-long pass for like $120. And when you say about not every day needs to be the best day of their life, well, now you can go there and it doesn't cost you a dime. Yeah. Whatever you pay to park, and they're just as happy. They like, my kids are simpletons, I appreciate them for that, but like, it's hard being a parent. Yeah. It's really hard when you see, in where my kids go to school and where your kids go to school, there's some people that got it and they bring it. And there's going to be Aspen trips and ski trips to Vail over these holidays.
Yeah.
Thank God I don't know how to ski. So, but yeah, I would just keep things within reason, because like, we're not trending in a good direction as a country financially right now. So the bubble's going to pop.
But that's the whole thing. You got to control what's going on in your four walls.
Right.
And if you can control your spending at home, just figure out lesser expensive ways to keep the kids entertained and keep yourself entertained, and cook cook at home,
Yeah.
find lesser expensive ways to live.
Right.
You got to tighten the belt.
Funny because I think if I wasn't such like I eat a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for lunch, like I'm a 5-year-old kid. But like I could think like, you know, it's easy. Run down the street, you know, sit down and eat dinner or lunch every day. You know, $25, $30 a day.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot of money.
Hell
at the end
yeah.
of the year.
One of the bad habits that we got into when we were spending a lot was ordering out.
Yeah.
And then you get bored with the places that just deliver to your house. So then you end up in that DoorDash, Uber Eats habit. And then you spend, and what I don't think a lot of people realize, so if you're a restaurant and you start doing like Uber Eats or DoorDash, Uber Eats and DoorDash take like 30% off of that restaurant. So what the restaurants do to combat that is they mark up the menu. Right? So if you go to Five Guys and you order a cheeseburger, it's already expensive.
Yeah.
Okay. But if a burger's $14 if you go to Five Guys, it's like $18 if you order it on Uber Eats.
Yeah.
So, you know, for a family of 4 to order on Uber Eats and order Five Guys, you're going to spend like $110 on goddamn cheeseburgers.
Right.
Go to Giant Eagle in your car. Don't Uber Eats it. Okay. Or DoorDash it or whatever you do for delivery. Get in your car.
Buy a pound of ground beef.
Go buy a pound of ground beef and a pack of buns for $20. Come home, fire up a frying pan and cook some burgers.
And give your kids a core memory.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like it's it. You know what I mean? Like you could cook up 4 cheeseburgers for like $30 and you're good.
Yeah, my favorite's ham barbecues, man. Like Isley's chipped ham.
Hell
ham
yeah,
barbecues, man. And it's funny because I remember during COVID, I saw a post where it was like, you know, we're all going to come to find out why grandma rinsed and reused her aluminum foil, you know? And it's true. You got to tighten the buckle. Like, dude, like my gram, the way she lived, this would never even impacted her. You go back to the 4 walls, she'd bitch about the grocery prices. It would just change what she cooked. We had a famous meal in my house. It was pipe fitter steaks. And after she had passed, I was like, hey, where do I get, like, I was somewhere, maybe I was at Ruth Chris. But I asked, I was like, have you ever heard of a pipe fitter steak? Like, what's up with that? And they were like, no. And then I asked my great aunt, I said, what's up with these pipe fitter steaks? Because they were good. Well, here, my grandfather was a pipe fitter and couldn't afford to buy steaks. So my grandma would take ground meat and make like burger patties with onions and like cook them like they were steak. And they'd eat them with steak sauce. And those were pipe fitter steaks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's something that got lost in translation with a credit card in your pocket. Because they didn't have them.
Right.
You know what I mean? They had a mortgage they were thankful for, and they had what came in and what went out. That's all they had.
They actually had to live by a budget.
Yeah, there was no other, like at the end of the month,
When there was
liver
no
and
money
onions.
left, that's it. There was no money left.
It's over. There's no reset. We're waiting on paychecks. Yeah, so.
And they were too proud to borrow. They were too proud for anything else.
Yeah, and we need to just, like, things need to, like, reset, you know? And so that's my goal personally, is, like, cut back on all the bullshit. Like you said, it doesn't, just because I have the kids, it doesn't mean we got to go to Five Below and get them something just to get them something, you know? Right. And my wife's really good at that. Like, she doesn't just blow money to blow money. So, yeah, bad time of year not to blow money, but.
Yeah. But that's the point of the episode.
Yeah.
Control yourself.
Control it. Don't get the urge. I mean, every kid wants a new iPad. The iPad he has is just fine.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. Well, we'll get through December, and then we'll start booking guests for the 2026, I guess.
Yeah.
So if you want to come on and you want to tell us how much money you spent on a credit card.
info@betweentwobridgespodcast.com.
There you go.
Number 2, info@between2bridges.com.
All right, man. Love you, bud.
Thank you for listening to Between Two Bridges, a business-to-business podcast. Find and follow us on your preferred podcast streaming platform. Like and subscribe, and leave us a rating and review. You can join us socially on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. You can email the show at info@betweentwobridgespodcast.com. Until next time, make it till you rake it.
She said.
Dude, it's a 358 in that amount of time. 365.
Oh, he's going to be on his phone all night.
Nope, I'm done.